So we all know that good faction fleets are much worse than good mixed fleets. If you didn't know, then now you know. But let's still try to beat 15-4 on lethal with faction fleets. And if it doesn't work, well, there's always the joystick. So Tempesta obviously no, Meta also no, and French only have one healer, and they're not really good at bossing anyways. And Northern Parliament has like nothing in it, and Sardinia has Aquila, and then they're not good at bossing either. And Dragon Emperor just doesn't have main fleet ships, like relevant main fleet ships. And Ironblood, they have no AA. They have no AA, and otherwise they could be used for a boss. But I think that they'll just die to airplanes, because the boss fleet has to fight at least 2 battles anyways. And for Sakura, they don't have a lot of tanks. There's only Azuma and kinda Unzen. For main fleet, they could boss with the 3 rainbows. And if I were to use them on mob, I don't think Shoho here plus Ruho is good enough healing, and this fleet will also just die to airplanes. So basically we have 2 choices left. And obviously Royal Navy has the healers, while Eagle only has Arizona, and Arizona doesn't heal much. Doesn't heal enough, like she doesn't heal the main fleet. Except when the main fleet needs the zombie. So I think Eagle Union for boss and Royal Navy for mob is the play. So here's the mob fleet. Well, they don't have tanks either. Like there's just Fly and there's Jarvis, but she's level 120. For mob, it could be Drake or Scylla. Probably Scylla. And then we definitely need a battleship to deal with suicide boats. And for the third, we can take another healer like Perseus, who, I don't know, usually it's not recommended to use Perseus and Unicorn together. The other option would be Illustrious. Yeah, I'll just put Perseus for now, and I think it's might work, might not. If I use Illustrious here, then for the support fleet, I'm left with Implacable and Indomitable, and then one more Royal Cave Carrier would be like Centaur or something. because these two aren't leveled. And Eagle Union only has one tank, and that's Anchorage. And this is boss fleet. We need Sandy for airplanes, and the last slot can go to probably just Helena. So I need to pick between these three: Enterprise, New Jersey, and Kearsarge. New Jersey would be nice for suicide boats, and Kearsarge is just better than Enterprise, except for airplanes. And I think this won't be enough ACV, so yeah, just 2 light carriers plus Yorktown. Probably not enough ACV for air supremacy, so you have to do this. And for cats, for mob, we definitely want Mountains Tenacity. Because 3% less damage it's better than 3% more survivability in mob fleets, because you get healing, and the math just kind of says that the healing increases this by more than 3%. And you could say that Flame's aggression, 3% more damage, makes you end battles earlier. Well, it usually doesn't, because the battle length is dictated by the waves of your main fleet attacks, and the chance of your main fleet clearing a whole wave earlier is like not very high when you give 3% more damage. So I want Mountain, and this is usually a garbage talent, but it's gonna be helpful here because anti-air decreases plane crash damage for the main fleet. And of course you could use both Mountain and Flame together, like here. I've got Flame and Mountain. And I should mention that you should not try this at home, because I have basically max tech on main fleet, and max tech is a very big difference from like half tech. For the boss fleet, Mountain's not as important, so just take like damage cats. I have 2 carriers and 1 battleship. I can use a bit of trolling here. So Wind's Alacrity is the only useless talent here, I think. And I don't know why this keeps on resetting to ascending. I don't want it on ascending, I want descending. Maybe it's the UI bug from new UI recently. And for submarines, I think Wolfpack is the only option. for me at least. If you have Eco Union like these three, the 3 golds at like level 125, then they're probably better than Wolfpack because they stay underwater for longer and survive. And I'm just going to stagger the torps and hope that that makes a difference. It probably doesn't. And for chapter 15 you always want snorkel, even if some gear guide or some tier list says that U37 can use Oxytorp and hull. No, that's not true in chapter 15. You always want submarines to survive for longer so that they don't just die before the boss battle. Descending. And for gear, we do need Hedgehog somewhere here. But Scylla's only 120 and she might die even with 2 healers. I don't have much other choice. Like Drake has no anti-sub and everyone else is 120. Cheshire has the best AA in this fleet, so she gets sextuple, and everyone else gets rainbow. Need to look for anti-torpedo bulge. For mob, I can use Drake gun or Hindenburg gun. Hindenburg gun pierces, and while Drake gun has better light damage. Having one crossbow would protect the Vanguard from those airplanes that enemy carriers launch. Those airplanes that shoot red triangles directly at the Vanguard. But I think that we only have 2 of those battles in the whole stage, so taking double sword for clearing bullets is better. Usually one hedgehog on a light cruiser isn't enough at all, but I don't think I can afford to put another anti-sub on Plymouth. If I do that, then Cheshire has the tank, and then these two are kind of squishy. So I'm just going to run one hedgehog only. And we have two light carriers. Usually Unicorn takes anti-sub, but since Perseus is here, oh, I just noticed that Perseus actually does have more ASW stat. And Catapult on Perseus isn't worth as much as Catapult on Unicorn. We can even take more. So dropping Catapult will decrease Perseus's interception, anti-air. So hopefully that's fine, and obviously it also decreases her actual surface damage dealt, but that's pretty much non-existent anyways. And since we are not going for 3-star, we're not going to take main fleet enemies at all, so we put hunting bow for AAA. So Ply takes one, and Helena takes the other, or I think Mob will be more dangerous, so I'll just give this plus 13 to Vanguard. I think she has a skill for Ox Gun. Oh, they always crit. Yeah, I'll keep the plus 13. Actually, plus 10 should still one-shot things, unless out of ammo, and there's only one out of ammo battle, so hopefully it'll be fine. So in this fleet, Vanguard is the only main fleet ship with damage. So the timing doesn't really matter. I just want her to deal damage with every shot. So black-white. Perseus seems to have better anti-air. She has a lower stat but much higher efficiency. So I could give her a rainbow. Because Stag will only boost hit and Perseus damage doesn't really matter. So that's Mob Gear finished. And now for boss. Same 457 as usual. And I don't think anti-air will be a problem. The only problem here would be keeping Sandy and Helena alive. So Sandy has the best AA, so sexable. And Helena has the second best AA. So she gets Roomba. And Anchorage gets the Rainbow because the Rainbow has fast reload, and Anchorage's lower reload relative to Helena will get mitigated by the Rainbow's inherent fire rate better. This could be a beaver, or it could be oh, I don't want beaver because the Vanguard will run into the enemies and take ram damage. So it could be Crystal Ice Bomb for 34 evasion, or it could be the Torp Bulge. And I actually want stagger between these, so I want Enterprise to be faster than Yorktown. And I don't think anti-air will be a problem, so instead of going double flak track, I would take Wyvern or Tenrai. Tenrai would do more damage and better damage, while Wyvern still keeps some interception. And so both options would make Yorktown naturally slower than Enterprise, which is good. Which means that we don't need beacons to change timing. I think Helena is less important than Sandy to keep alive. So Sandy goes in the middle and Helena goes off tank. Other than that, if Sandy is in the back, then she gets more evasion, which is fine, I guess. And Helena will just be timing to the carriers, and New Jersey will go ahead of Helena and maybe eventually catch up to the next Helena scan. So we don't need this radar, and instead we can take anti-torp bulge. And that's all the gear. And I already did subs, so it's just the support fleet left. And of course we're playing on lethal because safe is like too easy. I might have one more plus 13 here. And if I have extra wyverns, which I don't. Okay. So now we can finally start failing. There's a lot of Chinese in the game with cats currently, even on the fleet screen when you're selecting cats. Usually I would summon subs now, but since my main fleet does little damage, the battle might last for longer, and I don't want subs to die early. So maybe now. Okay, the battle ended way earlier than I expected. So 2:09. Usually my battles end at 2:10 or 2:11 when I use like mixed fleets. I guess Unicorn can somehow did a lot of damage. And the Vanguard is somewhat alive. If Oscar's skill doesn't proc to deal damage to this fleet, then it didn't, so I used the strike. And this time I can summon subs a bit earlier. Except that I forgot to move the subs. Let me see how this battle goes anyway. And it ended at the same time, even without subs. Yeah, I'm surprised at how this fleet is doing damage when Perseus doesn't do damage. And it's just Scylla and Plymouth in the Vanguard. Like, usually the battleship will be Musashi or Bismarck, and they do a lot more damage than Vanguard. So as I expected, the Vanguard survivability is the biggest problem with this fleet, even with double healer. And airplanes are not a problem, so I could take these air formations if I'm scared about submarines in the recon fleets. So I want to save 3 submarine ammo for the 3 bosses, which means I have 2 ammo to spend on these mobs. And I don't think subs are needed in this battle. So with some good RNG, Vanguard will target the carriers that end the battle instead of targeting these Kagero production types that come from off the screen. These things deploy the enemy's smoke screen, but you don't have to kill them to end the battle. So now submarines. I want to save oil, so does this? Yeah, this should work. And I think this fleet will be safe from airplanes, so just Vanguard survivability, so which means double line is the play. And New Jersey failed to shoot the suicide boat. Anyway, pretty much some weird things always happen, and it's not guaranteed for any battleship Ox gun to kill even one suicide boat. I summoned subs too late because I wasn't expecting the battle to end this quickly. I guess maybe because I've been playing on half tech or zero tech for a long time for testing purposes, and I forgot how good max tech is. I'm wondering if the boss fleet can take one mob battle as well, so that this fleet has 4 out of 5 ammo for the second boss. But the only choice would be this one. I'm just really not sure whether this Vanguard survivability is lucky or not. This is not ideal. I think I still want subs for this battle, and I shouldn't have stepped on this enemy at all, but now that I did, I have to use subs here. And I want to believe that the battle will end quickly, so I summon subs early. So now we finally get to see whether anti-sub is enough. Even if it's not enough, my main fleet is very healthy because the enemy carrier fleets didn't do a lot of damage to them. Again, that was way faster than I expected. Usually these battles would take like until 2:10, 2:15. And I don't know whether that's because of the max tech or because somehow Perseus is doing something magical. Because this is a boss battle, I do expect it to end later than a boss battle, so I summon subs later, like around now. once again, this fleet proves me wrong by ending the battle really early. And I really have no clue why it's like that, even though Perseus is here. With 3 strikes, she actually did like pretty decent damage. And it looks like the mob fleet has like zero trouble, and I shouldn't have taken this boss fleet at all. And especially now the boss fleet is down to 3 out of 5 ammo, so they don't get the ammo bonus. And I probably don't even need subs here, so I'll just save oil and not cost subs. I wonder if it's 3-starable, but I know that even though my Vanguard is full HP right now, it's probably going to be a bit RNG for Scylla to survive all of these battles. And of course the main fleets, the enemy main fleets are always RNG, whether they hit one of the CVLs and light them on fire and basically one-shot them. So now I'll play the boss battle, but even if I win, I'm just going to quit the battle because I don't want the thingy to go to 100% yet. And this first wave is the part where Beaver Badge is bad because these enemies, well, I mean, those enemies usually survive for way longer, especially when you have like triple CA or triple CP, and then your fleet just runs into them and takes damage. And I want to call subs now because this is the last battle, and it doesn't matter if the subs die. What does matter is Sandy dying and Anchorage. So now it's a DPS race. So Sandy's Mantry just popped, which means that I have to quit. And I really shouldn't have taken that mob battle there, which cost like 1/4 HP from the Vanguard. As well as the ammo damage bonus. This is not optimal at all. So let me just manual this, because manual is always a solution, unless you're like really bad. And I do believe that if I had more HP on the Vanguard, by not taking that mob battle, then this would be an easy win. So with manual, I can also manually stagger the carrier's airstrikes, which clears these waves better and spawns the boss earlier. And it also means that I can hold the airstrikes so that they don't attack one of the bosses in a smoke screen. And the boss should be in the smoke screen like right now. Except that I killed the Kagura productions, so they weren't able to spawn the smoke screen at all. And that's 3% HP on the boss left, so easy win. So yeah, 15-4 on lethal is doable with faction fleets. And it's doable on auto, except that I was stupid and used the boss fleet for one mob battle. So maybe Helena isn't really useful either, so if there are any other good Eagle Union Vanguard ships, like Seattle would be nice for surviving, just surviving. And I think Baltimore is kinda too squishy, but San Francisco will be able to heal Vanguard by 10% in one battle. And of course you can just take any other tank, like New Orleans. Or even Montpelier. Montpelier should be just better than Seattle. She might have worse AA, but this cruiser damage bonus would be nice. As well as the cruiser damage taken is decreased. Yeah. So I think this would be a better fleet, like this. So I'll do one more run, this time purely on auto, and still quitting before the boss, right before the boss dies. and here are the gear. So I made some changes, like remove both of Perseus's anti-sub because it's not needed. I can take the subs. And I moved Scylla's plus 13 gun to Sandy and swapped the plus 10 over here. Here I swapped Wyvern to Tenrai for more damage and less anti-air interception, but in the boss battle only the Vanguard survivability matters for this fleet, so I can afford to lose the interception. Like maybe I can even do this. This rocket fire doesn't have interception, but it does a lot more damage to light and medium than Flapjack does. Assuming that the enemies aren't in smokescreen. And I saw last battle that the first wave of enemies does die pretty quickly, so I think Beaver is okay. And I put Seattle instead of Helena or Montpellier because I don't have Montpellier augment and I don't want to pay for it. So Seattle will be quite tanky enough at level 120 in the backmost position. And then no other changes. Her submarines, no changes either. I think it worked okay, except that I was summoning them too late. And the same cats, same everything.